Hello peoples! In today's video we will be finishing up the best ships to use for bounty hunting in 3.16. These ships are for the VLRT and LRT missions and are the easiest type of missions you will get when first starting out bounty hunting in Star Citizen. You can even use these ships in MRT missions as they are more than capable. For a slight twist, I'm going with the lowest costing ships either in-game or with real money, so that anyone that is just a basic starter ship or package will know that they have a good chance to complete the lower tiered bounty hunting missions. I have left the two ships that I believe to be best suited for running these lower tiered missions mostly in a stock configuration, with only adding 2 weapons to one of the ships that I have picked when doing an MRT level mission. So get a snack, a tasty beverage, sit back, relax, and let's get to it. So, my first pick would be the Aurora LN, and here's why. 1. This ship has the firepower to do any of the lower tier bounty hunting missions quickly with 4 size 1 guns and up to 4 size 2 missiles. 2. It's very maneuverable, and thanks to its profile, it's very hard to hit, especially for the NPCs in the game. 3. Very cheap to refuel, repair, and rearm. 4. It only costs 338,400 Alpha UEC in-game, or $40 US if you're paying real money. That's incredibly cheap. Bonus, you can do box missions with it, or you can even take a friend as you've got a small little space or cabin or whatever you want to call it directly behind the pilot's seat. So as you can see here in the footage, no problem completing this VLRT. We can even take out our counterpart, which is another Aurora, with ease. There are stock repeaters on this build. I did not upgrade anything, and I'm just locking my gimbaled weapons because that's how I like to fly. So we're going to kick it up a notch by going after an MRT mission here. We're going to lock onto the primary target right off the bat and go for the kill as fast as possible. I am going to use my missiles here to try and end this combat as quickly as possible. But I wanted to show you that you are more than capable of doing an MRT in this ship. Are there other ships that will allow you to complete an MRT quickly with a heck of a lot easier time at it? Yes, but that's not what the goal here is. The goal here is to show new players that basically you don't need a fancy saber or a gun-toting Hornet or any of those other ships. You can get this done in a little small Aurora LN with no problem. I'm even taking on a Gladius, and I'm not going to have much of a problem with it, as you can see. The 4 repeaters that come stock are more than capable of taking on any of these ships, and you shouldn't have too much of a problem getting through these bounties as quickly as possible. And of course, the added benefit is if you do take damage from doing your daily missions, it's incredibly cheap to repair. There's not a whole lot on this ship that's expensive. You've got size 1 guns, which are the cheapest guns that you can possibly have in the game. There's not a huge amount of fuel that you have to replace, and repairing damage usually costs just couple hundred or even a couple thousand Alpha UEC, and that's if you take damage. Like I said, it's pretty hard to hit this thing. At least the NPCs have a really hard time hitting this thing, so keep that in the back of your mind. It's pretty efficient. So we're going to move on to the next ship. So here's my second pick, and that's going to be the Mustang Alpha, and here's why. 1, it's the cheapest ship you can get at 251,400 Alpha UEC in-game, or $30 US. That's it, period. It's cheap. Dirt cheap. Matter of fact, you can buy a fleet of these ships for some of the higher tiered, more expensive ships in the game. 2, it's very maneuverable and only slightly larger profile over the Aurora, but you also have a fantastic cockpit view, as you can see here in the footage. 3, this ship also has the firepower to do all of the lower tier bounty hunting missions quickly. Although the stock config only has 2 size 2 guns, you can add 2 size 1 guns on top of that. But sadly, no missiles like the Aurora LN. And number 4, it's still very cheap to refuel, repair, and rearm. Now, I just completed that LRT mission with no problem. What we're going to do is we're going to add 2 guns, and I'm going to keep it with the same type of theme that the Alpha Mustang comes stock with, and that's cannons. This would not be my preferred choice. Normally I'd go with repeaters, but I wanted to stay kind of within the same theme of a stock build, and I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money. So remember, the guns that come with this ship stock are going to be 2 size 2 laser cannons, and I'm going to add 2 size 1 laser cannons to the wing, so it's a pretty cheap upgrade. I don't think it's unreasonable that most people are going to go for this right off the bat. Particularly if you're going to go do a MRT style mission. You can get away with just the 2 size 2 guns on the VLRTs and LRT missions, but I really do think that you're going to need to up your game up a little bit so that you can deal with ships like the Cuddy here a little bit quicker than normal, with at least 4 weapons. As you can see, I don't have any problem keeping the Cuddy within my sights. I'm just going to sit here, whittle away with it, have a little bit of fun with it, disarm it, nothing worse than a toothless Cuddy, and then finish it up at my convenience, basically. Now, a word of caution. The Mustang, any version, is an extremely delicate fighter. You do have pretty good maneuverability. You do have a pretty good chance of avoiding most damage. But if you do get with some type of weapon that has a substantial impact, like a size 3, it's probably going to blow something off. And usually it's your wing, and that means you're going to lose one of your guns, as well as stabilization if you are in the atmosphere. So at all costs, try to avoid any type of incoming fire. When at all possible, try to maneuver behind a ship, get into a blind spot where it can't shoot you, like I'm trying to do here with this Freelancer MISC. Now, the other thing is, in the video here, I'm kind of oversteering, and I did that with the Aurora as well, because I haven't been in a light fighter for a while. I've been playing with a lot of heavy fighters and ships like 600 Eyes, which have the maneuverability of a pig. So I'm a little out of practice. But trust me, once you get used to the maneuverability and the quirkiness of these light fighters, you won't have any problem, and all of your actions will be fairly smooth, not quite as jerky or as reactive as mine were. So, what's the cheapest ship and loadout that you use when running these lower tiered bounty hunting missions? Put your thoughts in the comments section below, but try to keep the price in the same ballpark as the ships that I picked. Also, if you liked and enjoyed this content, then please hit the like button, the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. Don't forget that referral code in the video description below so that you can get some free in-game UEC when you join up as a new member. As always, till next time, take care.